Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire, and I want to talk about be careful at the beginning of your walk with God. And I want to start off this message by saying that, at the beginning of your walk with God, that's when the devil is going to try to get you to mess up your life. You know what I'm saying? That's when the devil is going to try to get you to mess up because he knows that you are new to the kingdom. He trying to get you to make bad decisions before you are experienced in the kingdom and before you fully gain knowledge and wisdom in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So you basically just came into the kingdom from the world. You just came into the kingdom of God from the world. And, some people who come into the kingdom, they most likely don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody taught them nothing. Their parents didn't teach them anything. Basically nobody taught them anything. Nobody really put them onto no real game. So it's like when they come into the kingdom, some people they don't know anything when they come into the kingdom. They just excited to follow Jesus. They have good intentions. Some of them they excited to follow Jesus and they have good intentions. That's for some of them though. But I'm gonna put y'all on game so you won't mess up your life. The first thing I want to say is that stop telling your family and other people about your walk with God. Keep your walk with God private, because a lot of things that come with this walk with God, they gonna sound crazy to your family. They gonna sound crazy to people. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're talking about nightmares that you may be having. The devil is attacking you with spiritual warfare and this and that, like demons and angels and God and this and that. This stuff is gonna sound crazy to a lot of people. So this is why you gotta keep your walk with God private. And by you keeping your walk with God private, it's gonna save you and it's gonna help you have a better future. Because you gotta understand, right? Some of these people in your family and some of these people in family and all these other people, they could be used by the devil to try to set you up and to try to destroy you, because they don't believe in the spiritual things of God. So when you tell them about it, they just gonna try to use it against you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say keep your walk with God private, and that will save you. That will save you basically getting set up by the devil, or you know what I'm saying. It will save you getting destroyed by the devil. It will save you messing up your life by just talking about your walk with God and this and that. That's why you should keep your walk with God private. And you gotta use your discernment, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell the wrong people. Don't tell the wrong people things that's concerning your walk with God, man. Don't do it. If you tell the wrong people things that's concerning your walk with God, they're gonna try to set you up. They're gonna try to use it against you and this and that. So all you gotta do is just be, just be quiet about your walk with God. Don't be telling the wrong family and this and that. And you gotta understand, right? When some people first come into the kingdom, they don't even know this. They don't even know that you ain't supposed to tell you ain't supposed to tell your family about your walk with God. You ain't supposed to tell everybody about your walk with God. Because you got to understand, when some people come into the kingdom, some people don't really know anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a kind of like give an example using my life. I'm the type of person, right? I didn't grow up around my family. You know what I'm saying? I basically came to stay with my family when I was kind of older, when I was like a teen. And like, I didn't really know my family like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't grow up around them. So if you in a situation that's similar, you don't really know your family like that, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you gotta study your family. You gotta study the people around you to kind of like know what not to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trusting a lot of these people, especially with your walk with God, man. You know, because when you study people, that's when you know who to trust and who not to trust. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand something. God's favor can save you from a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let me say that one more time. God's favor can save you from some stuff, but God's favor is not going to save you from everything. I'm going to repeat that one more time. God's favor can save you from some stuff, but God's favor is not going to save you from everything. So, when you first come into the kingdom and you don't know anything and this and that, you know what I'm saying? God's favor could save you from some things that you may mess up in some situations, and God's favor could save you from it. But God's favor is not going to save you from everything. That's why you still gotta. That's why I'm putting y'all on game so you could make these good decisions at the beginning of your walk. Because I understand that you just came from the world. I understand that you're new to the kingdom. You don't know any. It's like you're not smart yet in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is the devil is going to try to get you to make bad decisions and to mess up your life. When you're new to the kingdom, and some people, they come into the kingdom not knowing anything, but the devil is already trying to get you to mess up your life and make bad decisions soon as you come in the kingdom. But you don't even know anything when you just came into the kingdom, because you just came into you just came from the world and nobody taught you anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it feels like a very it's just like it's just an unfair situation, bro. If I'm being honest, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I'm trying to make this message to kind of like give you a heads up on what's going on, because man, it gets real in the kingdom, man. And another tip that I want to give y'all, if you you know, that you could apply to the beginning of your walk with God, stay away from all this extra sinning. You know, I'm talking about those bigger sins that we have no business doing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, now I understand that we all still sin, right? We all sin, right? Everybody sins. We all still sin, but I'm talking about those big, craziest sins. We gotta stay away from those. You gotta stay away from those at the beginning of your walk with God, man. You know what I'm saying? If you are new to the kingdom, you gotta stay away from those big, craziest sins, because those are the sins that really can mess up your future. Because those are the sins that carry the most karma. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be dealing with no karma that you got yourself into when you was just starting out walking with God. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be dealing with that. So that's why I'm giving y'all this tip right here. Like, I'm giving y'all this advice right here. Stay away from those big, craziest sins. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect or anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you ain't going to sin. I'm just talking about those crazier, bigger sins. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You know? And like, extra sinning. Like, sins that you know you ain't supposed to be doing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all get what I'm saying? That's those big, crazier sins and those extra sinning. Like, because if you want to have a blessed future, you want to like, try to not get karma, you know what I'm saying? Try not to do stuff that's going to bring you karma down the road. So this is another advice that I want to give y'all if you are starting out your walk with God, you know what I'm saying? Another thing I want to say is that when you first come into Jesus' kingdom, right, you're going to get attacked. You're going to get attacked by demons, by the devil, and this and that, because they will try to get you. You gotta understand, the devil don't want you to follow God. The devil don't want you to follow Jesus. So he gonna be coming at you heavy. You know what I'm saying? The devil and the demons, they gonna be coming at you heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get you back into sinning into like a sinful lifestyle. They trying to get you back into following the world and this and that. They trying to get you into sinning in these crazy big ways. They trying to get you into sinning in these big crazy ways. And that's what I was trying to say. Like, those big crazy sins right there, those the ones that bring the karma. Those the ones that, you know what I'm saying, it's just not it's just going it's gonna mess your life up. You don't want to do that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just giving y'all advice on how to have a blessed walk with God, and a blessed future, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be perfect. I'm just saying that try to avoid those certain big mess ups. Those big crazy sins. Those are the ones I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, because those carry a lot of karma and they can mess up your future. I already said that, but I just had to say that again, man, because that's serious right there. And another thing is, when you first come into the kingdom of God, right? You're not even strong like that. But these demons is coming at you heavy. Let me repeat that one more time. When you first come into the kingdom of God, right? You're not even strong like that yet. You know what I'm saying? But these demons gonna be coming at you heavy. Some people, when they come into the kingdom, they just not strong like that. They just came from the world. But man, these demons coming at you heavy though. That's crazy. And I also want to say that it can already be stressful at the beginning of your walk with God. So don't make it more stressful for yourself. The beginning of your walk with God could already be stressful within itself. Though don't make it more stressful for yourself, man. Trust me. And the devil is coming at you full force at the beginning of your walk with God. But you ain't even strong yet. You know what I'm saying? The devil trying to get you to make bad decisions at the beginning of your walk with God. But you ain't even got the knowledge or the wisdom yet. Cause you're coming from the world and nobody taught you anything. So it's kind of like, it feels like you're set up to fail. And, something that I learned from Tiario is that you can disagree with God on certain things. And this is one of those things that I don't agree with God on. You know what I'm saying? I just do not agree with God on this one right here. Because you got to understand, the devil coming at you full force when you first come into the kingdom, but you ain't even strong yet. You know what I'm saying? The devil trying to get you to make bad decisions at the beginning of your walk with God. But you ain't even got the knowledge yet or the wisdom yet, because you're coming from the world and nobody taught you anything. So it kind of feels unfair, if I'm being honest. And this is why I'm doing this message, to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? So you don't make bad decisions at the beginning of your walk with God that can mess up your future. I'm just looking out. So I just want to pray for strength for the people who are starting out their walk with God. I just want to pray that God gives y'all strength, and God gives y'all the knowledge and the wisdom and God gives y'all the favor to just make it through. You know what I'm saying? To keep pressing with God. You know what I'm saying? Because I already made it through the beginning stages of my walk with God. I already made it through successfully. But I'm just praying for the people who are new, and I'm just giving them some advice, some tips that they could use. You know what I'm saying? Just looking out, just looking out, man. So that's basically all I wanted to say. Peace.